If banks insist on sticking to modular or end-to-end systems, they won't be able to adapt in the same way. And over time, I believe that they will start losing customers.
So Jorno, when you first engage with tier one prospects, what's usually their biggest pain point?
When I engage with tier one prospects, I typically see three big pain points. The first big pain point is legacy systems and inflexibility, because most large banks, they're running on outdated core systems that limit their ability to innovate, scale, and also respond to the market demands. And those systems may be stable, but by the time or at the moment that you want to change something, that's when the challenges start to arise. And that's also a real blocker. Because in a market where fintechs are constantly entering the market and disrupting the market as well, the ability to adapt is critical. The second big pain point is the time to market. Banks need to launch products fast, and they need to launch them at the right time. But there's often a big gap, I would say, between what the business wants and what the technology can actually deliver. And that mismatch slows down innovation and also leads to missed opportunities for the banks. And finally, the third big pain point is the operational expenses. Maintaining outdated software systems is expensive, and I recently spoke with a prospect who shared that 60% of the budget went to just keeping the lights on, and the remaining 40% is going to compliance. So if you add those two up together, you can conclude that there's practically nothing left for innovation. So if you can't invest in new products and customer-focused solutions, then you also cannot stay competitive.
How does the conversation shift once banks start to see the real value of composability?
Most banks already understand the theory behind composability, but the conversation really shifts when we start to have the discussion from concept to practical application. So the question that we start to discuss is, how do we actually do this? And the next step is always taking a pragmatic approach. So we start small, prove value fast, and then we scale. That naturally leads to the question, where do we begin? And that's where our partners and our implementation strategy become essential. Large banks quickly see that they become competitive in specific use cases or specific customer segments by using a dual core or speedboat approach. And that means running the new and the old system in parallel. So then the key strategic question becomes, how do we safely move away from our legacy core over time? And together with our partners, we build a clear step-by-step migration roadmap. So we typically start with a single greenfield use case. So that's a new product or a new service. And we integrate Mambu into the existing architecture so that the bank can get a real feel for the platform. So this can be done in a matter of weeks. And we recently did this with a top tier bank in Europe in just a matter of a month. And after that first success, we scale gradually by following a list of steps. And that is configure an existing product on a new platform, prepare for migrating data and customers by product, country by country, or even customer group by customer group. And you repeat those steps all over again until the full migration is complete.
So, what's the boldest misconception you've heard about Mambo and how do you prove it wrong?
One of the boldest misconceptions about Mambu is that Mambu is a global SaaS solution and it won't fit the needs of a regional bank. And the funny thing is that it's both true and false. And it's true because we don't build every niche country-specific feature into our own core. And the reason for that is that all of our customers are running on the same code base, which is what makes Mambu scalable, stable, and also fast to deliver. But it's also false because modern API-first architectures like Mambu also provide the localization layer that local banks need. And we do this by working very closely with local partners. And these local partners, they build productized local orchestration layers who integrate Mambu's global SaaS solution to the local specifics of the market. So that means that banks can meet all the local or regional requirements without locking themselves into bespoke, hard to maintain software packages. And finally, Our roadmap is also customer driven. So when we see a strong demand across, let's say, a cluster of customers in a particular region, we prioritize it as well. So yes, we are global, but we absolutely are also fit for purpose at the regional level, and our partner ecosystem is what makes that work.